Jerry back into the video. Today's video is what if Courtney returned to the merge instead of Eva. So this idea was by Tulip Mango. Thank you for your suggestion, and let's begin. So I feel like Shauna still wins the challenge. So even if Courtney wins the challenge, I think everyone's going to off Heather. So I think it's very safe to say that the first boot, Harold. I don't know what Harold's here. I just made the realize that. Be here. Put you back on. So 12. And I think everyone votes off Heather because it's Heather. I think Heather's the first boot getting voted off here. Episode 16. Duncan is with Courtney. Duncan's a smart player, so when all guidelines won't work from now because he wants to keep Courtney in the game. So I think Duncan makes a former Killer Bass alliance with his former Killer Bass members, so he's able to add Jeff, Bridget, and DJ. Because there are two other guys, I think it's a bit late for Duncan to make a guys alliance. Because he wants to keep Courtney in, because Courtney wasn't there in the original, so I think he wants to keep Courtney in. And I think here, in episode 16, the only new character is Courtney. So we'll say Courtney replaces Heather, so she gains immunity. But she doesn't kiss Trent, because it's not a Heather play. So Trent wouldn't get voted off here. And because there's no Owen in this alliance, everyone in this alliance is actually able to keeping it a secret. So they're actually able to work together for a while at least. So Duncan would get his group to vote for Izzy, who's generally seen as the biggest threat. As Duncan can't vote Bridget. Shauna, Gwen, and Trent are a trio, but Lindsay and Owen are just by themselves. So I think they verify Izzy is the biggest threat because of Owen and Izzy being a couple. They vote off Izzy. Episode 17, How to Be Sneaky. Shauna wins the challenge, and DJ and Owen are fighting on the roof. And I think Gwen and Trent would find Owen and DJ, so they have immunity. Now, Duncan would realise that Owen could be a threat because they think that Owen might know about their alliance. So Shauna gets Gwen Trent, and she's able to convince Lindsay, because Lindsay doesn't have Heather, to vote for Jeff. Duncan would get his group to vote for Owen. So that's 5 on Owen. And Owen, I feel like he would vote for... He also is convinced very easily with Lashauna's group to vote for Jeff. And Owen and Jeff would have to face a tiebreaker here, which is a hide-and-seek challenge, and I think Jeff could probably beat Owen in just about any tiebreaker. And I think they just vote Owen off. Owen loses. Episode 18 is the bike race, so we know Lindsay's really good. So Bridget makes Cross and Jeff to the second round. DJ and Gwen wipe out. Okay, so we know that, and everyone else qualifies for the second round. So Duncan and Jeff crash into each other. Lashana wouldn't qualify for the second round, though, because even though she wouldn't be with Izzy the entire time, I still think she would do terrible. Lindsay's the only one I could see possibly crossing the finish line, though, because she was really good in the original and would have won had it not been for Heather tricking her. Trent crossed. I feel like Trent would make it. So I've looked on another episode between Courtney and Bridget, and I think Courtney can't cross because she got distracted on a tricycle. I know it's a bit different to a bike, but she was pretty distracted in that episode. Granted, she was arguing with Duncan, but she could still be distracted with a landmine. Now, I do think Bridget could actually really cross this race, because one of the reasons Duncan's so threatened by her in the original is because she's very good at sports, so she has to have a very good balance. And I think she would cross after Trent, and I think due to the really unfair ruling in this episode, Bridget gets voted off. Episode 19 is still DJ. Episode 20, Duncan has his group and realises they need to convince somebody else in their alliance. I think Gwen still wins the challenge. So, Duncan, Jeff... So, Shauna would get Gwen and Trent to vote Courtney. Duncan, Courtney, and Jeff ask Lindsay to vote for Gwen. And I think Lindsay would side with these guys to get rid of Courtney. So if Courtney wasn't eliminated, if Courtney came back, she would have came 7th place. Episode 21, Lindsay just replaces Owen, so she gets with Trent, so they just replace Lindsay and Heather. So Lindsay and Trent are a duo. I think the eating challenge is still LaShawn and Duncan, Gwen and Jeff, and now they win the third part of the challenge, so Duncan and LaShawn have Minnie. They think it's a popularity contest at this point, but instead of targeting Jeff, I think Duncan would see that Gwen and Trent are a couple here, and the sister has to be done and gets everyone to separate Trent. So I think Trent gets eliminated here, as he would more than likely win a popularity contest over Gwen. Episode 22 is Lashana. I know Lindsay's a very good option, but I'm not going to change that. Episode 23, nomination. Episode 24 is Guys vs. Girls. I think Duncan and Jeff win the challenge because they have a lot more better navigation skills, on top of the fact they would work much better than Gwen and Lindsay. And I think Chef likes Lindsay, so he's going to get rid of Gwen. Actually, Gwen won the boot camp, so he gets rid of Lindsay. Episode 25, Jeff could definitely make it in Gwen, and they're more resilient than Duncan. So as much as I love Duncan as a character, I think Duncan's going to go here. So Gwen and Jeff are in the finale, and most people are going to side with Gwen and Jeff. But Jeff would be like the Owen here and would throw a party. So that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. This is a mission I think is going to go on. If Courtney returned instead of Eva. So I think that's what would happen. It would change a lot of things. Like Heather's out very early, so yeah. The next one I'm gonna do Tyler, Cody, and Noah. So they're gonna be like my next ones. I'm gonna make this into a series, which would be pretty cool. So I might do Noah next. But anyway, peace, farewell.